There are 4 upcoming DC movies releasing in 2023, and Warner Brothers has even more in various stages of development. Starting with Shazam! Fury of the Gods in March, co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran have a full slate of new DC movies planned despite the WB shakeups and cancellation of multiple DC movies and shows. Fans of the DCEU still have plenty to look forward to over the coming years, as do those waiting for standalone DC films like Joker, Folie à Deux or The Batman 2. For some long-awaited DC Comics movies like Man of Steel 2 or the Justice League sequel, however, the future is still uncertain. The current slate of upcoming DC movies barely resembles the plan for the DCEU laid out by Warner Brothers in 2013. DC Comics movies like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman 1984, and Justice League didn't achieve their objectives, but previously lesser-known characters in DC Comics movies like The Suicide Squad, Shazam, and Black Adam proved to be hits with audiences. The DC Movies 2023 lineup is a mix of established and new faces, and the potential new DC movies for 2024 onward will likely feature even more movies focusing on characters outside the core Justice League roster. Here's every DC movie coming out in 2023, 2024, and beyond. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, March 17, 2023. The first on the list of upcoming DC movies is Shazam! 2, which arrives on March 17, 2023, and is subtitled Fury of the Gods. Shazam! Was both a critical and commercial hit, and fans clearly want more of Zachary Levi's childish superhero. David F. Sandberg is back the director's chair, and DC Films has nabbed Helen Mirren and Lucy Lius as villains Hespera and Calypso. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was initially pegged to take DC's holiday season 2022 slot. However, in August WB made another schedule shuffle, and Shazam 2 was pushed back to 2023. At the time of writing, the Shazam 2 release date is still March 2023. Shazam! Fury of the Gods releasing close to Black Adam has many wondering if the two will connect prior to a Black Adam 2 or Shazam 3, despite there being no plans for either among upcoming DC movies. Outside DCEU building, many moviegoers are simply excited that one of the freshest, most interesting, and light-hearted superhero franchises offered by DC shows no signs of stopping. Shazam isn't a character as well known as Superman, for example, but the critical reception to his first big-screen outing might indicate that this will change as time goes on. The Flash, June 23, 2023, featuring Ezra Miller's return as the titular hero. The Flash has had the most turbulent production of all the upcoming DC movies, and has gone through directors at a speed even Barry Allen would admire. Thankfully, with its Andres Muschietti at the helm, things are actually moving forward with a June 23, 2023 release date. The Flash will introduce the multiverse to the DCEU, bringing back both Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton movies and Ben Affleck's Batman from Zack Snyder's. The Flash will also introduce the DCEU's Supergirl, played by Sasha Calle, with Ron Livingston taking over for Billy Crudup as Barry's father, Henry Allen. After being cut from Justice League, and then restored by the Snyder Cut, Kiersey Clemons will make her canonical DCEU debut, in a story that takes inspiration from DC's Flashpoint and begins with Barry attempting to undo his mother's death. With so much potential behind the film, The Flash might become the most important film in DC's future. However, many fans are already calling for Ezra Miller's replacement after the star's controversial conduct. Despite WB and DC's best efforts, both of their two biggest Justice League spin-offs, The Flash and Aquaman, still have far from certain futures. Blue Beetle, August 18, 2023. WB has wanted to include Blue Beetle among their upcoming DC movies since late 2018, but only in early 2021 when Angel Manuel Soto was announced as director did production on the Blue Beetle movie begin moving forward. Blue Beetle is now releasing on August 18, 2023. Soto since confirmed Blue Beetle would be set within the DCEU, and despite initial reports about it being an HBO Max exclusive, Blue Beetle will be buzzing onto the big screen as one of the DC movie's 2023 theatrical releases. Like 2022's Black Adam, Blue Beetle is one of several new DC movies to focus on a character those unfamiliar with DC Comics might not recognize. Cobra Kai's Xolo Maridueña has been cast as the Blue Beetle himself, known to his friends as Jamie Reyes, and filming was announced as wrapped in mid-2022. One of Blue Beetle's villains will possibly be Carapax the Indestructible Man, as Sicario's Raul Trujillo has been cast in the role. Bruna Marquezine will play Jaime's love interest Penny, and Susan Sarandon is lending her talents to this 2023 DC movie as Victoria Cord, the main villain of the Blue Beetle movie. Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, December 25, 2023. One of the most anticipated upcoming DC movies, Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, comes on the heels of James Wan's Aquaman earning more than $14 billion at the worldwide box office, and the confirmed Aquaman 2 release date is December 25, 2023. Wan returns as director, and Jason Momoa is reprising his role of Arthur Curry aka Aquaman. Aquaman's Mera, Amber Heard, Orm, Patrick Wilson, Atlana, Nicole Kidman, and Black Manta, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, all returning as well, and the sequel's title is speculated as referring to the underwater city Necros. After a few delays due to wider DCEU reshuffles, the release date for Aquaman The Lost Kingdom was set for March 2023. However, Aquaman 2 was once more delayed and given its current 25 December 2023 release date. This was reportedly so that the VFX team could ensure post-production is as solid as possible. It's possible the aquatic Avatar, The Way of Water from Disney also made WB want to reschedule Aquaman The Lost Kingdom to avoid comparisons. Many fans weren't happy about this decision, though. Not only is this the latest delay of many, but this time, Aquaman 2's issues also caused delays to Shazam 2, which took Aquaman 2's previous March slot in the DC movie's 2023 schedule. Joker, Folie à Deux, October 4, 2024. Thankfully, the continual reshuffling of the upcoming DC movie slate hasn't disrupted Joker, Folie à Deux. The standalone Joker bucked the trend for recent DC movies in that it was both critically acclaimed and kept fans of the clown prince of crime happy. Alongside the Suicide Squad, it is perhaps the highlight of DC's output in the last few years. Joker, Folie à Deux is confirmed to have an October 4, 2024 release date, and since it's not part of the DCEU, fans can be much more confident that it'll actually materialize as promised. Joaquin Phoenix is back as Arthur Fleck given Joker's box office success, as the studio optioned a sequel even though Joker wasn't made with one in mind. Todd Phillips is also back in the director's chair. Joker 2 will co-star Lady Gaga, confirmed as a new spin on Harley Quinn, and it will apparently also be a musical, somewhat fittingly given the pop powerhouse's presence. Folie à Deux is a psychological term, defined as a delusion shared by two people in close connection. Other confirmed cast members include Catherine Keener, Brendan Gleeson, and a returning Zazie Beetz. Black Canary, TBA. Onto the less certain new DC movies. A Black Canary solo movie has been on the cards for a while. 2020's Birds of Prey was a critical hit but a box office flop, leaving DC movies debating if a sequel would prove worthwhile. The DC rumor mill suggested Smollett Black Canary would appear once again in Batgirl before her solo movies arrived, but since WB unceremoniously pulled the plug on Batgirl, fans will never know. In August 2021, a Black Canary spin-off movie was finally announced, with Jurnee Smollett reprising her role as Dinah Lance, Black Canary. Initially pegged to release as an HBO Max original, Misha Green is screenwriting, but there's no news on a director, release date, or supporting cast yet. Black Canary is thought to be arriving sometime in 2023-2024. Whether it will remains to be seen. If the Black Canary movie will go straight to streaming is unknown too, since Warner Media has indicated they want to move away from this direction and focus on theatrical releases for upcoming DC movies. Static Shock, TBA. Originally announced at DC Fandom 2020, Michael B. Jordan is attached, in a producing role, to a Static Shock movie. Assumed to be an HBO Max project at this early stage, although, again, the state of HBO Max projects is now unknown. Jordan described his venture as a new universe centered around black superheroes, suggesting Static Shock would not be included in DCEU canon but instead trigger a whole new superhero streaming franchise, possibly based on the Milestone Comics characters. Randy McKinnon is writing the script, but little else is known about the big screen debut of Virgil Hawkins, the titular Static Shock. The Batman 2 TBA. While there's been no detail beyond the fact that the Batman 2 is officially on the upcoming DC movie slate, Matt Reeves' The Batman is getting a sequel, as well as a few spin-off series like Penguin and Arkham Asylum. It's likely that Robert Pattinson will once again play Bruce Wayne, and the last movie ended with several options for the Batman 2 story. Current speculation is that Reeves has set up an adaptation of the popular No Man's Land story, where Gotham becomes a battleground cut off from the mainland U.S. after a horrific earthquake. As with all upcoming Batman movies, the speculation is as much on the villain as it is the Caped Crusader, and many are hopeful the Batman 2 will show more of the Barry Keoghan Joker briefly introduced at the end of The Batman. There's no release date for The Batman 2 yet, but it's widely believed to be expected around 2025 at the earliest. This tracks, since new DC movies in 2024 like Joker, Folie à Deux are already being promoted, but there's been no marketing for the Batman sequel beyond the news it hasn't been cancelled. What the new DCU plans mean for upcoming DC movies. In December 2022, the news broke via The Hollywood Reporter that James Gunn and Peter Safran's plans for the new DCEU meant bigger changes to the upcoming DC movies lineup than anyone anticipated. Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3, starring Gal Gadot, appears to have been put on hold indefinitely. Since the Wonder Woman franchise was considered one of the safest IP in the DC Comics movies stable, this news came as a huge shock. As did the indication that a sequel to Black Adam was also far from certain, despite Dwayne Johnson lauding the profitability of the movie and rumors of a Hawkman spin-off circulating just days earlier. Black Adam was also notable because it reintroduced Henry Cavill as Superman to the DCEU. This led to speculation about Man of Steel 2, or a sequel to Justice League, but neither is as close to materializing as the Black Adam post-credits scene caused fans to hope. With Gunn and Safran branching out in a fresh direction for new and upcoming DC movies, it's possible the old DCEU will be all but left behind, including the Justice League. There's even talk of recasting some of the core members, with Jason Momoa as reportedly eyeing up the role of Lobo instead of Arthur Curry. Whatever lies in store beyond the DC Movies 2023 schedule, it will almost certainly be vastly different from what came before. Every other DC movie in development. In addition to all the movies on WB's official upcoming DC movie slate, there are several more in various stages of development, some of which are connected to the DCEU, DCU, and some that aren't. Potential DC projects come and go, with some cancelled almost immediately following announcement, and others being pulled only a few months prior to their supposed release, like Batgirl. With DC movies, it's best not to presume they're happening until there are trailers circulating, it seems. Here are all the rumored upcoming DC movies that may or may not see release. The Lego Batman movie director Chris McKay was directing Nightwing based on a story and script from Bill Dubuque, Ozark, which now seems to be in production limbo. A Supergirl movie in development from 22 Jump Street writer Oren Uziel. However, it's currently speculated this will meet a similar fate to Batgirl, despite Supergirl allegedly appearing in The Flash. A long-gestating Green Lantern Corps film is also still in development, despite no progress being made on it for over 8 years and the fact that HBO Max is developing a series of its own featuring multiple Green Lanterns. Booster Gold, from Arrowverse co-creator Greg Berlanti, has been in development for several years. That film's script was completed in 2018 and the producers are just waiting for the green light from WB executives. There's also a Blackhawk movie that will be produced and possibly directed by Steven Spielberg, but with the acclaimed director working on other projects, that may be a few years off. James Gunn has confirmed he will be working directly on another DC Studios film, although the characters involved are unknown. Warner Brothers has been attempting to develop a Suicide Squad spin-off starring Will Smith as Deadshot since the 2016 movie's release, but this seems to be on hold following Smith's Oscar controversy. There was also a Gotham City Sirens movie announced starring Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn teaming up with Catwoman and Poison Ivy, but this project seems to have stalled following the financial failure of the similar team-up Birds of Prey. One of the longest in development project has been a Metal Men movie directed and written by Barry Sonnenfeld, which was first announced in 2007. In 2021, Sonnenfeld suggested that the development process was still ongoing. A Zatanna movie was also originally scheduled for HBO Max, with promising young woman writer Emerald Fennell writing the script, but its status also seems to be in limbo following the move away from HBO Max projects for upcoming DC movies in 2023 and beyond. Key release dates: Shazam! The Fury of the Gods release date, the 17th of March 2023. The Flash movie release date, the 23rd of June 2023. Aquaman 2 release date, the 25th of December 2023. Blue Beetle release date, the 18th of August 2023. Joker, Folie à Deux release date, the 4th of October 2024.